Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining once again for today's webinar. As always, my name is Varun Krishna, and it's great to see all of you. I'll be giving a few more minutes so that the rest of the audience can also join. So meanwhile, let me explain about the different features or options that you can see in your screen when you are in need of interacting with me. You could see a raise hand option, and you can use that. I'll be getting the notification, and I'll be catering to your doubts. You can use a chat option also to write down your doubts in there. We have the Q&A feature as well. So please write down your questions there, and at the right time, I'll be looking into that. Yes, hello. We'll be speaking about a lot of things. We'll be speaking about a lot of enhancements, feature releases, and small bugs that we have fixed in the last few weeks. We'll be, looking into each and every feature update in detail. It's a very exciting day for me, an exciting webinar for me because we'll be looking into chart of accounts, project management details, how brand sharing works right now. So yeah, so I hope that everybody's settling in quite nicely. And I'm once again welcoming all of you. We're talking about releases that we have in the month of October on 21st of October. So we'll be looking into that right now itself. Okay, I'm going to give a few more minutes for everyone to just join in. As always, we will be starting with our release notes. If there is any doubts or queries, please write it down in the chat box, or please do write your questions in the Q&A section. We'll be looking into it. All right, so let's get started. As always, we are here once again for the webinar series for the release notes, right? So EalSuite evolution, where you can master project management, brand sharing, chart of accounts, migration. We'll be speaking about a lot of things today. So first, let me just share the release notes. Yes. So let's get started. We are especially here for talking about the release notes, which the new release and updates that we had on 21st of October. We'll get into each and every feature update right now. So first we'll start with change projects on bills. You can now remove or switch projects assigned to bills. Then we'll be speaking about easier brand sharing, manage how we can share customers and suppliers between branches in the new brand sharing settings. And also remember, this only gets applicable or only applies to the master branch, which we will be able to access this particular feature, by which we'll be able to access this particular feature. Now delete with ease. Remove unwanted customer quotations, purchase orders, and purchase bills. Next one, import account charts. So make setting up or moving to our platform quicker by importing your chart of accounts. Next, the enhancements. Edit dates easily. You can now clear or adjust date fields in custom fields. Then better project status selection. In Smart View, easily choose from a drop-down of project statuses. Then we'll be looking into clickable URLs. Links in list and RSPs, the right side bars, are now interactive. A few resolved issues as well, like the way in which the lead list was being loaded, smooth payment series creations, and improved date filters as well. So we'll be, as always, we'll be looking into each and every of these updates, right? I hope that everybody's ready. Let's get started. Yes. We're right now here at the dashboard of our software, and we'll right now just move into our PPT, and the first update, yes. Change projects on bills. Streamlined workflow. These are the features this provides. Effortlessly remove or switch projects assigned to bills, saving you time and allowing for better organization. Increased flexibility. Enjoy the freedom to make adjustments and changes as your project needs evolving. And enhanced accuracy. Ensure that your bills are always up to date and reflects the correct project information. So where can we begin? We'll begin with our software. Let's do one thing. How this particular feature works is that usually I'll just show the project section. So here we have multiple projects, right? A list of projects like December project, November project, October projects. These are just name of the projects. These are all under or assigned to a customer called John Doe. And we have project managers, due dates, status. This is what the smart view presents here under projects. So what this particular feature update explains is effortlessly remove or switch projects assigned to bills, saving you time. So initially, so that was a very beautiful thing. Initially, we were not able to switch it up. So let's create an invoice, right? So we'll come here, we'll create an invoice. So the name of the customer will be John Doe, and it will be initially created in a published status. So let's do one thing. While creating this particular invoice, I was supposed to assign a project to this invoice, and the correct one should have been November project. And let's select few items also associated with that particular project. Yes, I will be able to directly save the invoice. But unfortunately, I made a small mistake. And rather than choosing November project, imagine that I chose October project and I saved it. So right now this invoice is approved also, and especially in the unpaid status. Now, once a person is going through this view of this invoice and looking into the detail, he or she finds out that, okay, this is the project. So let me open the project and see this is the name of the project is October project, and October project was not the one. This particular invoice 049 should have been assigned to. It should have been assigned to November project. So what can I do, or what we usually do is we go to edit option. And right now we will be able to change it and save it, right? So right now we have made the change from October project to November project, but earlier this was not available. Once you're stuck, or yeah, I could say it like this itself. Once you're stuck with a project, or once you've selected a project, then you are stuck with that particular project. So that was really important. Right now, you have the option to change it. So this applies to all the different bills that we have, in which you will be able to select the end set of projects. So let's discuss a case in which this usually happens. This usually happens when we have multiple projects associated with a single customer. Unfortunately, we made a mistake by selecting the wrong project. Initially, we were not having the option to go to edit and then change the project. You're stuck with that project. Once you were selected, right now, we'll be able to change it. So that is a key thing that we saw right now. We'll be able to change that. All right. So moving into our PPT, so change project bills. I hope that it is clear to everyone. Moving forward, the next feature update, easier branch sharing. This is a beautiful thing. Effortless management. Simplify the process of sharing customers and suppliers between branches with the new branch sharing settings. And then control access. Ensure that only the master branch has access to customer and supplier sharing settings. Maintaining data integrity, and we have centralized management. Like have a centralized control point, which will be the master branch for sharing, inter-branch relationship, and collaboration. So let's get into the details here. In this particular workspace, I'll show it to you like this. We have two branches, and this is the master branch. So the module I'm going to share right now is going to be customers. So maybe I'll just show you the list of customers in both the branches and see what the difference in the list pertains to. So I've selected the master branch. You can see I've selected the master branch, and we have an option called branch sharing settings, under which we can see customers. So if we select the customers, we'll be able to see the list of customers with all the details like the code. It'll be the customer code, the name, and the company name associated with the customer. So see here, this is the list. This is the entire list, and we'll see whether there is any difference between the list of customers in branch 1 and in branch 2. So for that, you need to look into this particular option, load data, and right now it is loading branch 1 list of customers. So if I toggle it into branch 2, you could see the difference. So is there a difference? Yes. So we have US 00012 and 13. So 13 is the last customer in branch 2. So if you return back to branch 1, you could see that we have 3 more additional, maybe 4 more additional customers with 0027, 28, 29, and 30 also available. So we have 4 additional customers in branch 1. So there arises a situation. Imagine like this. There arises a situation in which you want to share one particular customer from branch 1, to branch 2. So how can we do it? Individually, how can we do it? We can do it for suppliers. We can do it for customers. Right now, in terms of customers, how can we share one customer from branch 1 to branch 2, or from branch 2 to branch 1, or inter-branch manner? So I'm going to select this option called existing. Click here, click on customers, right? So I'll be able to do that. Let me just show you one more thing. There's a sync setting option that we'll be using that a lot. The sync settings provides us a way in which you will be able to sync both branch 1 and branch 2, right? That's another option that we'll be looking into later. Okay, so from which branch to which branch do we want to share? So from branch 1 to branch 2, because branch 1 has additional customers, we'll be going into branch 2, then going into existing. In this way, we'll be able to pull in those customers from branch 1. So we have 4 additional customers in branch 1. We can either select these customers and everybody will be selected, or we'll just bring in Jennifer right now. So I'll selecting it, customer added successfully into which branch? To branch 2. And if you check it, 0027, Jennifer has been added, right? So if we come down to branch 1, we could see that Jennifer is here. And if we go to branch 2, we could also see that Jennifer is also here. So what is next? In this way, you can individually, or you can select multiple customers and you can bring in them. This is a manual process, right? Imagine a case in which branch 1 and branch 2 has to be synced, which means that if you are creating customers in branch 1, that has to be directly transferred to or shared by, or that should be readily available in branch 2 as well. And we'll be looking into the use case in the next phase of this particular update. So how can we do it? I can sync it. So in loading data with branch 2, I will be sharing it with branch 1. And if I select it like this, we have the 3 additional customers also shared. So right now I'm returning to branch 1. We have all the list of all these customers. And if I go to branch 2, again, we have the same list of customers. So in such a way, branch 1 and branch 2 are shared. So if this needs to work in the opposite manner, see, right now I selected branch 1, sync settings, I synced it with branch 1. Right now I can select load data with branch 1, sync settings, and I can share it with branch 2, right? Now, what is the speciality here? We can go to sales and customers. This is branch 1. Let me select branch 2, customers, and you could see the same list of customers here also. See the same list of customers here also. Everyone. Now, I'll be creating a new customer in branch 1, and let's see if it is getting reflected in branch 2, or let's see if it's getting shared in branch 2. So I'll be coming to customers. I'll be creating a new customer called Jitesh. We'll keep him as GST unregistered. No mandatory fields left. We'll be saving it. So Jitesh is saved. We'll go to customer list, and you could see Jitesh with 0031. And we will go to branch 2 right now, go to the list of customers. And can we see Jitesh? Yes, 0031. Jitesh is here. So in this particular manner, you will be able to share customers or suppliers. Now, suppliers, you'll be able to do that. It's the same process itself. You'll be able to work it out by yourself. So you'll be able to do it in such a manner. You will be able to share branch 1 and branch 2 customers and suppliers, and you can keep it like that. Let's talk about a retail store, right? Let's talk about a brand. They're having a bunch, not a branch, a brand. Let's say that they have a bunch of branches, even in a single state or in a different state or anything like that. If they're having this access to share customers, so at location A, if the customers comes in, all the details get entered into the system, then you don't have to manually create in location B or in C or in D. Everything will be shared. So that is the advantage. So you can keep one branch as the master branch, and you'll be able to do all of these things. Right. So that was good. That was the second update. Next, we'll be moving into delete with ease, streamlined cleanup, safely and easily remove unwanted customer quotations, purchase orders, and purchase bill from our system. It can completely free up space and keep your records neat and tidy by eliminating unnecessary documents, and save valuable time searching through the cluttered records and focus on what matters most to your business. And let's see how we'll be able to figure this one out. It's a very simple update, I would say. Yeah. So we'll do one thing. We will just go back and see customer quotations, purchase orders, and purchase bills. So we'll go to customer quotations right now. So no quotations has been created in this particular instance, I would say. So in that case, yeah. So here are the list of quotations. Here you could see the delete option, right? So one thing that you have to check is we have different quotations here in different status. Like some are in draft, some are in converted state, some are accepted state. So in draft state, I mean, obviously we'll be able to delete it, right? Yes. But what happens if it's in a converted state? You won't be able to delete it because it is converted. Now, what happens if it's in an accepted state? You will be able to delete it. Now, published, accepted, everything. Imagine if a quotation is in some way revised. Do we have a revised quotation? Yes. Will this revised quotation be deleted? No. So revised quotations or quotations which are converted into sales orders or ultimately into invoices or anything like that, they cannot be deleted. If it's in a draft state, published state, accepted state, or anything like that, you will be able to delete the customer quotations. Now, the similar thing applies to purchase bills and purchase orders as well. So we have paid purchase orders. We have the delete option right now, and you cannot delete it because you have to change the payment first. If it's in an unpaid state, then what happens? You will be able to delete it. What happens during partially paid state? I don't think so. You won't be able to delete it. So these are the different states in which we'll be looking into purchase bills. Now, what happens with purchase orders? Converted purchase orders. Will we be able to delete it? No. Pending, we will be able to delete it. So we have introduced the delete option for customer quotations, and then for purchase bills and purchase orders. A lot of validations, a lot of conditions exist for you to delete all these bills. So be really careful. You won't be able to delete any purchase order or sales quotation which is in a converted state, right? And purchase bills which are paid or partially paid or anything like that. Keep it in your mind. This is really good, right? Yes. So right now we do have the option, but there are conditions associated with it. So yes. So that was the next update. Here comes the most important update for today: importing chart of accounts. So talking about EalSuite, we had 4 data migration processes or data importing processes involved till this very moment. And that was importing customers, suppliers, the stock or the items. And the next one was for leads. Right now, we have implemented the same for importing chart of accounts as well. And for that, let's set the scene right now. Seamless transition, make setting up or moving into our platform quicker. So that's one thing. Either you're moving into an ERP software for the very first time, or you already have been using a different software and you have already exported the data from there, from the trial balance or all the ledgers in an Excel format or anything like that, or in a CSV format, and you want to import it, your existing chart of accounts to EalSuite, you'll be able to do that. Ensure that the financial information is completely accurate and mirrored in our system for a smooth transition. and rapidly integrate your existing accounting data and start utilizing your platform with minimal disruption. So how can we do it? Have created an entirely new uh, workspace for this, ABC Enterprises. So imagine, I'll first of all show you the different files that we have also, or the Excel file or the CSV file that we'll be using to import. So that's one very important thing. I think we'll look into that first. Let me just open that file. Yes. So I'll just do something for the fields. Yes. Imagine this is a very simple file. I'm just using a very simple file so that you can easily understand this. We have a set of chart of accounts like Atul's salary, Varun's salary, Asher's salary, Arjun wages, rent paid for land and for building, then some Vaishak wages, printing and stationery, then rent received on land and on building, accounts payable, Axis Bank loan, and Bajaj loan. And the different types like indirect expense, direct expense, indirect income, current liabilities, loan liabilities, so and so. And when you have uh, multiple accounts under a single name like a salary, the salary becomes a parent account, right? And similarly, we have wages, then we have rent earnings, and we have loans. And accordingly, we have debits and credits as well. Let's do one thing. We'll return back to our software. ABC Enterprises, yes. In EalSuite or in ABC Enterprises workspace, you can either go to chart of accounts under accounting section, and you can look at all the system inbuilt chart of accounts here. So you'll be having all the parent accounts and everything. And if you want to create accounts like bank accounts, you will be able to do it in the banking section as well. Under reports, you can look at the trial balance here. The trial balance is going to be empty because we don't have nothing here. We can go to all ledgers, and also we can look into all the chart of accounts and all the credit or the debit values, the amounts, and the groups associated with it. And here we'll be able to filter it easily as well. So this is a base thing. We want to import that particular file. So let me just show you how we can import it. We can go to the settings, and the opening balance, you need to set the migration date. That is really important. I'm going to set the migration date as 01/01/2023, the start of this fiscal year in UAE and everything. So yeah, I'm returning back to settings. And under migration, we have the import data. We can choose the file related to which category it is. So chart of accounts, drop the file here. And under documents, we have the chart of accounts. This should be a CSV file. You may or may not be getting, or you may or may not be exporting the file from the ERP system that you're already using, or the financial accounting software that you're already using. And you won't be getting all these data in a ready-made manner. So you will have to create your own CSV file, and then you will have to make it in an orderly manner, in an organized manner, then update it. So we have 5 different fields to which you will be able to map your columns in which name and type are mandatory. So name, type, we have the parent account, and the credit value and the debit value. Everything is mapped, and we have the preview section. So look at the name side. Atul's salary, Varun's salary, to everything is up and running. And all the different types, indirect expenses, direct expenses, indirect income, the current liabilities launched, everything is good, properly mapped. Parent account like salary and wages are mapped, but rent on earning and loans are not found. Why? That's the first question. So there will be situations in which you won't be able to see this, because Salary and wages are parent accounts, which is already existing within the system or within the software. So you will be able to easily bring in your debit or credit values there. But if you don't have the parent accounts first, your first objective should be to import the parent account. So we'll have to create an additional CSV file like that. You should be doing that first. And I'll be showing that to you right now, but this is really important to understand. Once you start the importing process, you may or may not come into this particular situation, but there are chances that you may come. So you can either go to your chart of account section within the software and check which all parent accounts are there for you. And if you don't have them, then you'll have to first create a file accordingly, or come to this mapping section first. Don't submit, don't click on the submit file, look. And as of now, I can understand there are 3 major parent accounts which are missing here. So what should I do? I should not continue from this particular page. What I should do is I'll just temporarily place it like this, and I'll create a duplicate. No, I'll just go to settings itself. That will be better. I need to import data. So which data should I import? I should import another file, a file like this. And what is the speciality about this particular file? Here, we'll be first of all mentioning all the parent accounts and then the type. So you first import this particular file, and I'll show it to you. Some of you may be having a question like, okay, so we already know that there are salary and wages parent account already within the system. So why do you want to import it again? We won't be importing it again. The reason why I'm showing it to you like this is just a sample file. A normal company will be having a bunch of parent accounts. So at that time, going into chart of account, searching whether a particular account is present, it could be a tedious process. So what I would prefer is, which all parent accounts you have, make a file like this. And if it's 10 or if it's 100, make a file like this. And also mention all the different types also there. And save it. Now, ABC Enterprises, import data, chart of accounts, select the parent account file and update. And for name, this is a parent account, and type, update it. So it will be getting mapped like this. Now, few of you will be having a question. Now, if I click on submit, since the salary account is already present, will this be creating a new salary account? Nothing like that will happen. When you click on submit, what happens? It says that a chart of account already exists. You won't be able to import it. So what happens? You have to remove it. Next, wages also, submitting it. Again, you won't be able to submit it because it already exists. So you'll remove it. Now, what about the 3? Should I add a credit or debit or anything like that? Or should I choose any parent account here? No. These are the parent accounts that we are importing. So you should import the parent accounts first, right? Let us click on submit. And yes, 3 chart of accounts are imported: rent, earning, and loans. Now what we can do? See, rent here, rent, earnings, and then loans will be imported. And I'm not going to reload it. It's not going to work like that. I'll be closing it right now. And chart of accounts, again, selecting the chart of accounts file, the CSV file, and clicking on update. Then you'll be mapping it properly. Yes. So we have salary, then we have rent, and then we have rent earnings, and then we have loans. And for printing and stationery, for rent received, for accounts payable, we don't have parent accounts, and corresponding credit and debit values are also found, right? So if I click on submit, all of these 13 chart of accounts will be imported with their credit or debit values. And in order to make sure that everything is done properly, what we can do is go to settings itself. Sorry, I think my screen got stuck there. Yes, I think the importing went well. We can just make sure that it worked right. Yes, so we have the opening balance adjustment with debit of this particular amount. Debit and credit, everything has been mentioned. And we have the rent received on land and the rent received on building, right? And then we had Vaishak wages and Arjun wages under direct expense. Then under indirect expense, we had few salaries like Atul's salary, Varun's salary, Asher's salary, and rent paid on land and rent paid for building and also printing and stationery. So everything is here. And finally, the accounts payable section, the loans also. So yes, so everything is imported properly. And for more details, we can go to reports and into trial balance and see under loans, we have this much, return earning, we have this much, accounts payable, we have this much, and the opening balance adjustment is also mentioned. And for other reports like all ledger, if you go to all ledgers, we could see for accounts payable, how much is the debit amount. And for Arjun wages, Asher salary, Atul salary, everything is mentioned here. So your chart of accounts is properly migrated in such situation. So let me just give you, we can conclude it like this. If you have a bunch of chart of accounts, what you have to do is, if you export a file from your already existing financial accounting software, you create a CSV file properly for EalSuite. You can use your, connect with your service partners, or you can ask for support at EalSuite itself. They'll be able to, or we'll be able to help you out on that. Since you have a bunch of chart of accounts, what you have to do is create that file, try to upload it, and see in which all fields or in which all areas a mapping didn't properly work. So you can understand that which all parent accounts are there and which all parent accounts are not there. So you create a list of parent accounts that you have and you bring it in and you try to import it. And then what happens? You can see that few of the parent accounts in the list are already within the system. In such situations, you won't be able to import them further. So you can delete them in the mapping page itself and import the rest. And then use the original file and import all the debit and the credit values associated with those accounts. So in this way, we'll have a very smooth importing done. Now, I did it in a very quick manner. I mean, there's no rush to complete it in a stipulated manner, in a stipulated time itself. You can take your own time and complete it in a timely manner. All right, so that was exciting for me to explain as well. If there's any further doubts, you can always reach out to your service partners, or you can reach out directly to EalSuite itself. And again, you'll be able to ask further questions in this webinar itself, in the Q&A section or in the chat section. So I'll be looking forward to that. So let's get going. We'll be closing these files right now, and we'll be moving into a PPT. The feature updates are done. Now I'll be looking into some of the enhancements like edit dates easily. So easily clear or adjust dates in custom fields to align with your specific reporting requirements. Ensure that your records reflect the correct dates, providing reliable and accurate information for analysis and decision making. Simplify the process of updating and modifying dates, eliminating manual workarounds and potential errors. So how can we implement this? That is the next question. So yes. Now, what we have to do first of all is for any bills that you're creating, we'll be creating a custom field. So we'll be creating a custom field. Let's say for invoice, we can do that. We'll do it for customer itself. So customer creation itself, we'll figure that one out. We'll create a custom field for customer. And the name I can give is temp field. Now the field type, that is really important, date. And while creating a date field type, we have the option to keep it as default in an empty way, or default way to keep it in the current date itself. Let's keep it empty. Show in all bill views, and I'm not going to make it mandatory. Submit. Let's create a customer. So Sanjay will be the name of the customer. Unregistered. Yes. So the temporary file, it is not okay. I think I made a small mistake here, because this is branch 2. Let's go to branch 1 and create the customer. I just need a few assurance whether I created the custom field in branch 2 or branch 1. It is created in branch 1 itself, so no issues. Yes, temp field, here it is. So Chanchal with unregistered way with, yeah. So here is the thing, a blank date field. I'm selecting a date. Can I delete it? If, I mean, imagine I choose the wrong date. What can I do? Clear it. But initially, there was no such mechanism. Once you have selected the date, you can either change the date into a different date, but you won't be able to clear it. Right now, you have the option to clear it. So that's a specialty. That is a new enhancement. I know that's a very small thing, but that is the enhancement. All right. So if you are creating a date field with any bills or any modules, once a date is selected, and if you want to clear it, you will be able to do that. Initially, we never had that option. So that was all about editing date fields easily. Next, better project status selection. So in the Smart View feature, easily choose from a drop-down of project statuses to get a comprehensive instance. And efficiently monitor the progress of your projects and identify areas that require attention or immediate action to, I forgot the second point. Access real-time information about project statuses, empowering you to make data-driven decisions. Just a second. Yes. Yes. So we'll go with a different instance this time. We'll go to the project section. And under the project section, we have such a list of projects. Now, under Smart View, I'm going to add a filter on due date. Yes, this is a specialty. And under status, sorry, yeah. Under status, what are status do we have? We have pending, in progress, on hold, completed, inactive, all these. So if I want it in progress, apply, I have to. So the specialty is that while applying the conditions like this, here we have initially the statuses were mentioned in a text box manner, not in a drop-down manner, right? Initially we had to write like pending, then click on pending, then only pending will come in. Right now, when we click itself, all the different list of status comes in. So we can click it like this and on hold. So yeah, it comes in. So that is a specialty. And that is what we brought in with better project status selection, right? Next, clickable URLs. Interact with links in list and reports summary blocks. Sorry, not the reports summary blocks. It's a right sidebar to quickly access relevant information and external resources. Experience a more intuitive and connected workflow by directly accessing web pages without the need for manually copying and pasting, and save time and effort by effortlessly exploring associated contents and expanding your knowledge base with ease. So let's do one thing. We will look for a particular URL right now while creating a custom field, and we'll create a custom field called, we'll look for a map location. That will be a better choice. So let me just select a map location. Yeah. So we'll create a new customer. We have temporary field already here, right? So I'll just do one thing. We'll go to settings and under custom fields, we'll delete this temp. Now, right now, you will be able to delete it. No issues. Reloading it, you won't find that here. And in custom fields, I need to create a new custom field, and map location will be it. Now, selecting field types, that is really important. You need to select the URL. No default values. I want to see it in bills, not keeping it mandatory, including all forms, submit, and here it is. So while creating a new customer, Kelvin. Kelvin is the name of the customer, and we'll keep it unregistered. And we have map location to find out which should be the map location. Let me just select a map location, copying the link, and yes, save. Here comes the important points. If you have a URL, right, in some fields, I have created a custom field here, and the name of the field is map location. The field type should be URL. You click on the link, it will be getting redirected into your Google Maps, right? It's a DP world. Next, where else can I see this? That's the next question. I can create an invoice with Kelvin. I can select. Then we will save it, approve it. Yes. Now we will go to the invoice list. And if I click on customer, you could see the right side bar coming in. And here we have a custom field and a map location. Here also the URL can be clicked and it will be getting redirected. Right? That's important. Now, where else? I'll be editing the view. And we will be adding that custom field called customer. Sorry, this is invoice, right? So we need to go to customers. Edit field. Map location has been added. Next, next, and submit. Yes. So you can see that in Smart View, we have added the field map location also. And here in map location, you could see the link. And if you click here also, you will be getting redirected with into that particular link. So 3 different positions. Once you create a customer or to create the invoice or anything like that, if there's a link in the view list, you'll be able to do that. For customers, you will be able to open the right side bar and you will be able to select it. And also in Smart View, also you'll see the same URL and you will be able to select it and you will be getting redirected. So yes, that's a fun part. That was a fun part. So that was all about clickable URLs. Now that's about it for the enhancements. Now we'll be moving into 3 resolved issues, small bugs that we have fixed. And talking more about that, let's just start with the first resolved issue, and that is a lead list access. All users with privileges can now view the lead list even without editing permission. It's a hard thing to explain where this error was, so I'll just show it to you like this. In this particular instance, we had a user. I mean, if you have a user called Matt Damon, and this is his mail ID. His role is a project member role. So we'll go to the role and I'll just show it to you. For a project member role, under lead management, he had to view and the delete permission. Now, if he goes into a new instance, so I'll just open the new instance here temporarily. And we'll work it out like that. Or we can use an incognito window also. I'll open an incognito window, that would be better. Hang on a minute. I think it's not getting loaded. Yes, I think it's a small issue. Yeah, my screen is stuck, right? My screen should be stuck. So I think it is not getting loaded. I'll give it a second and we'll see what the issue is. Let me just resolve it right now. Not quite sure what the issue was. Could be an internet issue, network issue. I think it's working fine right now. Yes, it is working fine right now. So it should have been a network issue. So let me just open up. Yes, right on track. Sign in. I'm not sharing it right there. I'll bring it up. Yes. So we have Matt Damon here, and this is Matt Damon's view. It is getting loaded. So I think it has something to do with the network. I think it is a network issue. It's taking so much time to load also. So maybe I'll just change few things. Good. So we go to leads. Now, what is the speciality about leads? The speciality was that I think it's a network issue once again. It is a network issue. It'll be showing an error right now. Hang on for a second. I'm trying to figure it out. Now, the thing is, we do have internet connection. I think okay. So we are back. Sorry for the delay there. There was internet. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So we were speaking about the lead list access, and the access issue was there for Matt Damon, and we're talking about Matt Damon. So if you go to this particular instance, and if you would see the users and roles section, I'll be repeating it once again. We had this person who was having a role of a project manager, and for a project manager, under lead section had the permission for view and create. And if somebody's like that, and this will be his profile, this will be his view for the domain. So if you go to leads, he or she will be able to see the list of leads like this, but they were not able to see it. That was the sorry for that. That was the error that they were having. So yeah, so we have resolved it. That's it. It's a very simple thing. Smooth payment series creation. We fixed issues related to creating extra customer and supplier payment series. So what is that? In the previous update, we released series managers separately for customer payment and for supplier payment. And for few people, they were not able to properly see it. They were only able to see a payment thing, a payment type. But I want to just make sure to see that everybody We have the customer payments and we have the supplier payments. And for whoever came across this issue, it has been fixed for them. That's another thing. And finally, we have the improved data filters, date filters. For next and past, date filters were not operating as intended at some occasions and are working perfectly now. And for this one, we'll come here and we'll go to invoice itself. And under invoices, we'll be working on due dates. So add filter, my intention is to get the list of invoices which is having due date. Now, I'm using the relative condition here. In the past 25 days, working fine. And if you know, and you want to make sure this is working fine, go there, over here, and look at the dates. 07/10/23 to 31/10/23 is working fine. Good. I'm going to edit it. I no longer need this one. What I want is the due list. Again, relative for the next 2 months. Again, I have the list. So this is the thing. Everything is working fine. Earlier, when we hover on this, we were not getting the dates right. That was the issue. That has been fixed right now. So I think everything is good. That was a final resolved issue. And yes, we are done with everything. So if you're having any further doubts or questions, you'll be able to ask me right now. Anyway, we'll be going through all the different things that we have discussed today once again. And I'll be just giving you a preview of it once again. So in between, if you're coming across any doubts, you know what to do. There's a chat option. You can use a raise hand option also. And if you like my explanation, you can use a thumbs up or any reaction icon to show your appreciation. There's a Q&A section also. I'm getting a few questions in the chat box. Okay, it's about chart of accounts importing. Okay, so Danya wants to know that if you have a list of chart of accounts, then going into the mapping section and figuring out which all parent accounts are not present there, is that the best way? I mean, it's up to you. What I would recommend is that go to your mapping page and see which all parent accounts are not present there. And then you will be getting a fair bit of idea on which all parent accounts has to be first imported into the software and then work on that later. Otherwise, you can get a list of parent accounts that you have, which you have already exported from a different system or which you are using it at your company right now. And you can cross check it in the chart of account section or in your ledger section or anything like that. And then you'll be able to make an informed decision on that also. So that's one way. It's up to you to decide. Please reach out to our service partners or directly to EalSuite during the importing time. If you're coming across any new customers who was facing this issue, or you yourself is facing this issue next time or in the upcoming days. So that yes, sir. Branch sharing is applicable for both the branches or any of the branches. You will have one master branch. That's really important. Go to the top right in the load list, select the branch you want to, and then go to the syncing option and select to which branch you want to sync it to. So you will have to keep in your mind that you do have a master branch and you will have to start working from there. You'll have to select the branch setting from your master branch itself. So that's one thing to keep in your mind. Yes, URLs right now in your system, if you could see the URL fields, the data in the URL field anywhere in EalSuite, you will be able to click on it and it will be getting redirected. Yes, so it will be working like that. Yeah, so I'll be giving you a few more minutes. And sorry for the delay in between. I don't think that was a network issue. The network was properly fine. It was showing no internet connection in between also. So it was because I connected it in some other way. It was not properly working at that time. Sorry for that. I hope that apart from that small roadblock, whatever things that I've explained to you is properly you understood it properly. If there's any more doubts, you will be able to ask me. Okay, then I think the time has already lapsed. If there's anything, please please ask me right now itself. I'll be waiting. Uh, Once again, thank you for attending this particular series of webinars. Thank you everyone for attending the previous webinars also. I hope that I'm doing a pretty good job, and I hope that the software is also doing a pretty good job helping you figure out different things. And if you need more solutions, you'll be able to directly reach out to your partners, service partners, or directly to EalSuite itself. All right. So to our support team will be there to cater to any of the questions or any kind of support that you want. All right. So yes, that's it from my end. We'll again be meeting in 2 weeks' time to discuss the next set of releases that we have. And I'm personally asking you to please work out the branch sharing settings if you are having a requirement, and especially just check out the chart of accounts, importing section also, just up to that mapping stage. So it'll be helpful for everyone in the future. So yes, that's it from my side. Once again, thank you very much. We'll be ending the meeting right now. If there's any more question, is there any more question? No. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure having all of you here today as well, and I hope that all the new releases will be solving a lot of your issues. Thank you very much.